unwanted comment about your body in public that's made you feel uncomfortable. So that's called street harassment. Oh, that's called street harassment, and it's also known as gender-based harassment in public spaces. We hate it, and we know that if street harassment is ever going to change, a lot of systemic issues also have to change. It can be hard to imagine what that would even look like, so sometimes the best way to show people that this is even possible is to flip the script and show them what it would look like if it actually happened. So this is where culture jamming comes in. Culture jamming is a really sneaky way to subvert or disrupt companies or institutions to draw attention to a social problem. It's really surprising and gets people talking. So here's a quick example. Victoria's Secret markets underwear to teen girls with problematic messages like these. So people were really surprised when a couple years ago, Victoria's Secret put out a press release saying that they were going in a new direction and launching a line of underwear with consent-based messaging. Yes. So, no. So when this was revealed to be a culture jam by a group out of Baltimore called Force, it got tons and tons of press. And best of all, Victoria's Secret had to come out and say, no, that wasn't us, because we don't support that kind of message. So it really drew a sharp distinction between what the company is doing now and what it could be doing if it wanted to. So our organization here in Philly, Feminist Public Works, focuses on starting conversations around street harassment and ways that we can end it. And this year we decided to add some culture jamming too. So back in 2012, GPTMC, which does tourism, it does marketing for Philly tourism, they had this huge ad on the side of a Center City parking garage with a clearly harassing message. And as you can see by the smaller ad in the corner, this is a strategy they've used in the past. So we reached out to them, and we really didn't get anywhere. So we decided to create our own ad in a bus shelter at 15th and JFK. It ended up getting a lot of attention, and we even got NPR coverage for the effort. So, thank you. So we decided to try something bigger.
How many of you like Comic-Con? Do any of you cosplay? No? Okay, so for those of you who don't know what that is, cosplay, I'm not going to stop while you yell because we have no time. Cosplay is short for costume play, and it's sort of what makes conventions so fun. We launched a project, Geeks for Consent, to deal with the harassment that happens of cosplayers at conventions. And it's a problem, yeah. So the small conventions do a really good job creating thorough policies and training their volunteers, but the big conventions pretend like it's not a problem. So we reached out to San Diego Comic-Con, the biggest one, and tried to get them to do something about it. They refused. We launched a change.org petition. They ignored it. So we decided to show up. In July 2014, we flew to San Diego Comic-Con, and we talked to people about harassment problems at the convention. We also started posting flyers about harassment at the convention, essentially doing what the convention should have been doing. We did it for them. We also did their harassment policy poster for them. We took their logo and their vague, crappy policy and added to it with everything we learned from the first day at the convention of how to report harassment, where to report harassment, who to report harassment to. And we started posting it everywhere as if it were official. So the first posters we were posting, they kept tearing down our first posters and threatened to kick us out, but these ones were so official looking that they didn't even tear them down. And people started posting about both of them online, all over social media, and what happened was press got wind, and it sort of exploded. Every mainstream television station, newspaper, radio, TMZ contacted us about, wow, if it was that simple, why the hell didn't they just do it themselves? It's like, you know what, good question. So then the AP picked it up, and it was no longer 3 women shouting about harassment. It was hundreds of thousands of people across the world talking about how this is a big deal, and San Diego Comic-Con refused to do anything about it. And that scared the other conventions that ignored us. So New York Comic-Con stepped it up this year. 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, they convened a panel, and they revamped their entire harassment policy so that we wouldn't have to do it for them. And it was awesome. So basically, what culture jamming is throwing a wrench into the wheel, stopping the machinery from even functioning so that they have to look at what's going on. What we did was fly out there and show them how simple a solution would be to implement, so it made all of their excuses for not acting look absurd. And in so doing, flipped the script, and that's what we like to do.